We're gonna get going here shortly. I'm gonna wait, let the room fill up. We got a few that are in right now, so we're just waiting on everybody to load in. Expecting maybe about 150 or so that have already registered. So as people are piling in, like I say, we got 150 or so people that have registered. So we're gonna be getting going here in a minute. Just want to give everybody a chance to chime in. Some people are extremely prompt. I see we got more and more people coming in. Like I said, we're expecting up to about 150 people or so. We're going to be getting started right at 8:15. So if you do have any questions, by all means, you can begin to go ahead and type them into your chat box so I can get them. Like I said, we're expecting 150 or so. Looks like we are about 73 people in the room right now. So gonna let it build, get a few more people in, and then we're gonna rock and roll this thing. So, and you guys have to excuse me too. I got my little doggy right here. He wanted to hang out too. So, by all means, we give it a quick second. But go ahead and type in any questions that you have, and I will be answering those as they come in. So we'll be getting rocking and rolling here in a quick second. And I'll apologize in advance if my dogs start barking because I'm waiting on my grandson to be dropped off. So if they start barking, please forgive them. They know not what they do. So we'll be ready in a couple of minutes. Be getting started. But like I say, by all means, any questions that you have, get them over to me, and I will start off with those. I see I got a few that have already come in. Okay, so at least we know where to start off at. All right, just a few more minutes. Appreciate you all for showing up, though, coming on in and hanging out with me a little bit on this Sunday evening. And I promise we're not going to be long. Every once in a while, though, I like to, go live and just make sure that people see I am a living, breathing person that actually does interact. I don't just go into dealerships all the time. I interact with people on a regular basis to help them out too. So we're gonna have some fun here. Appreciate you, the other folks that are coming in. Like I said, we're expecting 150 or so people. We're getting started at 8:15. So as more and more people are piling in, we are getting started at 8:15. But any questions that you have, by all means, go ahead and type them in your chat. And do me a favor, can you hear me? Can you send me a message? Let me know if you can hear me okay. Can you hear me okay? Type into your chat and let me know, can you hear me? Let's see. Can you hear me? I'll type it to you. Can you hear me? Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. It's no echoes or anything. No. Okay. All right. Like I said, we got more people piling in. Expecting 150 or so people. So we got one more minute and we getting going. So any questions that you have or any issues that you've been having at your store, by all means, please send them in the chat. I know most of the times when we have these events, people don't like to put themselves on blast, so they just will hang back and just wait and let me go ahead and go through what I'm gonna talk about. But this is truly about you tonight. So any issues that you have, I'll touch on a few things that I've been hearing that I know people have been saying that they've been dealing with. But other than that, by all means, send me your feedback, share with me what you got going on. If there's anything that you like answered. In the background, as I stated earlier, if you do hear my dogs barking, it's because my grandson is about to be dropped off, and sometimes my dogs don't know how to act. And my lady is actually watching How to Get Away with Murder right now across the living room. So I'm really at home, finally off the road for the last 2 weeks. But all right, we're going to go ahead and get to it and do it. I appreciate everybody taking some time out, coming on in. Brian Maxwell, checking in with you guys, fresh off the road from Illinois this past week, New Orleans the week before that. And I just decided to jump on here and go live and do a quick Q&A with everybody because I get a lot of questions on a regular basis. People are struggling right now, even at their stores, to be able to capitalize and make money. And it seems like right now people are running into the same exact obstacles. And the biggest thing is that they're running into the hurdles of everybody wanting a discounted price, everybody wanting a lower price, or, working a deal and somebody else stepping in to help you with a deal, slashing the prices on it and really taking away from the money that you could have possibly earned on that potential deal. So some of the things that we're going to talk about is strictly catered to A, how do you convert more people? B, how do you convert more people profitably? And C, how can you actually turn what it is that you're doing at your dealership into a career? Because one thing I will tell you, if you haven't heard me say it before, I'll say it now. JOB stands for just over broke. And at the end of the day, I get it. Men and women are doing the best that they can to take care of their families. They go into this opportunity hearing that they can make money. And a lot of folks, when they start up at the store, there's nobody to grab them by the hand and actually teach them the right things to do in order to be successful. There's nobody there to guide them. There's nobody there to really tell them what to say. Most people are thrown out and just told to shadow somebody, and then they left to hang. And one thing I will tell you is this. You can rest assured that there are men and women ranging from the ages of 18 all the way up to 68, 70 that are literally making money at their dealerships right now. I see we got more and more people coming in. I really appreciate it. But there are literally people that are making real money at the store. So let's talk about it. The first thing I want to address is this. Is price important? Absolutely. Price will always be on the table regardless of any customer that you're dealing with, okay? But you must know, if you haven't heard this before, is that when value and the experience exceed the price, price becomes a little bit less relevant. Think about it like this. We have all spent more money than we needed to for something that we wanted, but we saw the value in it. Therefore, it was worth it to us to invest in it, okay? And so at the end of the day, when people have this belief that the vehicles sell themselves, no, they don't. Because regardless of what brand you're promoting, if you went around the United States and stopped at every other dealership that sold the exact thing that you do, what you'll find is you have exactly what they have at their lot on your lot. So what that means is that when it boils down to who they buy from, it's up to you. It's up to the individual at that store. And it's not about price. People will spend more money to deal with you because they like and they trust you rather than going someplace else cheaper. So how do we get there? How do we do that? One of the key things, a lot of people are pretty good at greeting customers and getting them inside. But you may have heard me say this before. Two of the silliest questions that most salespeople ask that can destroy their deal before it even gets going, just from greeting the person. Number one is asking the guest, can I help you? Now, the automotive industry is one of the slowest adapting industries I've ever seen. But let's think about what can I help you means. Number one, when we ask the guest, can I help you? The typical response is, I'm just looking, okay? I'm just looking. Now, why do people respond with I'm just looking? Is because we're programmed to respond with that. How many times have you been somewhere with an intention, or maybe not with an intention, but you do have some interest? You're in a place of business, you're in the clothing store, or you were at a dealership before. You showed up, somebody asked you, can I help you? And the natural reaction was just to say that, okay? That is psychologically something that we are programmed to do. And so that makes absolutely no sense to ask someone that. I've said this before, and just touching on it quickly, welcome is the first thing that you should say when you're greeting somebody onto your lot. Number two, to ask somebody, hey, how you doing today? Again, we don't know if they're having a good day, a bad day. And at the end of the day, as a professional, one of the key things you got to keep in mind, if you really want to make sure that price isn't the end all be all with any customer that you deal with, and you have to trust me on this. I am from coast to coast, from some of the biggest luxury brands all the way down to some of the domestics. And one thing I can rest assured is there are people out there today that are still buying vehicles at MSRP and without ridiculous discounts. Why? Because they see the value in it. And it's not taking advantage of anybody. At the end of the day, as a professional, you got to realize this. You are the CEO of the biggest and the best business that you will ever own. And that's you. And what you accept as an hourly wage or as a yearly income is how you value your business. And so when you're interacting with somebody and you're giving them your time and you know that you genuinely want to help them make a smart, safe buying decision, yes, you should be compensated for that. You deserve to be compensated for that. See, the issue is this. We've all been hardwired to believe in these 40-hour work weeks and that, we get paid by the hour. And let me explain something. You will never, ever, ever become financially secure swapping hours for dollars. If at your dealership you have not quantified your time to say, okay, what is it that I want out of this? If it's a new car,
How much is it? A new home? What is it? Is it a yearly income? How much is it? And then you have to break it down. I call it the reduction to the ridiculous to what it is on a monthly basis. Now that you've reduced it to a monthly basis, take how many working days you have in the month and you divide that into that number. That will let you know exactly what your objective should be every day. If your objective should be to earn $250 in commissions every day that week, that's a lot easier and a lot smaller to be able to grasp and conceptualize than saying, I want to make $8,000 in a month. Sometimes that's too much for people. Okay, so first you got to begin to quantify your time. The thing that separates the winners from the losers, not just at the dealership, but in life, and many times it boils down to what goes on in between our ears. I see men and women every day that are selling 15 and 20 units every month consistently. And then I see those that are hovering between 4, 5, and 6 every month too. They may have a good one in between there, but then the next one is back down. What separates them is, one, those that are consistently doing that 15, between 12 and 17 every month, they have identified the fact that sales is not something that you do when you go into your place of business. It is something that we are all born into, and I'll prove it to you. From the moment that you were born, I was born, our parents, every single human being has been blessed on this planet. We are all born into sales. We cannot escape it. And let me show you how. And every intelligent person I've shared this with said, I never thought about it. Think about it like this. When a baby cries, it's trying to be picked up, be fed, or have a diaper change. That's a sales call. Any relationship you've ever been in, you weren't the only person that thought they were attractive. You were one of many. But yet you presented yourself in a way that they said, you know what? I'd like to begin a family. I'd like to establish a relationship. I'd like to have children with that person. Every previous place of employment you've ever been to, you were not the only candidate. You were one of hundreds, if not thousands, but yet you presented your skills and sold them in a way that they said, you know what? We get the highest rate of return on our investment with this person. I mean, if you're in the car with somebody and say, hey, they say, well, let's go to Burger King. You say, no, let's go to Five Guys. Their burgers are a lot better. That is a sale. It even goes as simple as sitting in a room by yourself, doing nothing. We have sold ourselves that it's better to sit there and do nothing than it is to get out and go get it. And so, one, you have to identify sales isn't something that you do. It is something that you are born into. And when you realize that, you begin to conceptualize that, you begin to hone your ability to communicate, and you look for every opportunity to be a solution provider. And also realize this, when people are coming into your store, with the internet, they've done shopping, okay? People go online, they do their researches, and a lot of times, as you probably know, they'll know more about particular vehicles than you do when they come in because they've been studying it for days, weeks, or months, and you've got somewhat of a fleet to be knowledgeable about, and they just had that one. Okay, so that's number one. When they come in, they'll have some form of an idea. But number two, man, most people out here try to half step it so much that when they come in and they interact with somebody that actually is genuinely gives a damn about helping them make a smart, safe buying decision, you stand out and realize this. Selling a vehicle, somebody buy a vehicle that has margins in it, okay, has everything to do with your ability to treat them like a human being and give them the most positive experience that you possibly can. Now, does that mean that it's going to be all jokes and laugh the entire time? No. But what it means is it is two human beings that are working towards a common goal, which is helping this person make a smart, safe buying decision. Not you just trying to sell them something. Because no matter how silver-tongued you are, if you have to sell somebody something and force it down their throat, even when they get it home, they're going to feel forced, and then they're going to, never come back. They may give a negative review, and they're going to feel bad about their decision. But when you work with them and realize that it is a partnership, you and them go down, you take them down the process pathway together. Now, when they make that buying decision, they feel a lot more comfortable with it, and you seem like you were a helpful, somebody that was a helpful consultant along the way. And so always remember that, vehicles is the product that you sell, but the business that you're in is the people business. Now, let me talk about this too. A lot of folks say that they dislike scripts. They hate scripts because they say scripts makes you sound scripted, makes you sound robotic. It does not give you any room to be able to move. And the one thing I always stress to people, and I point out, this is what causes the most resistance and inconsistency in people's sales. Think about your favorite movie, whatever movie it is you love, whether it be Avengers, Goodfellas, whatever it is. Think about it. The movie probably stimulated you emotionally, made you laugh, made you cry, made you happy, made you sad. But prior to production getting started, every actor in that movie was sent something, and it's called a script. Now, what they did is they memorized it, they internalized it, and when they projected it out, they personalized it. As a matter of fact, they memorized it and internalized it so well that when they projected it out, even though we know it's fake on this big screen, they're able to stimulate us emotionally because they've got the words down to the point where they no longer have to think about them and their own personalities can flow through. You see, that's the importance of having the right things to say. I was taught years ago, good salespeople, good ones practice what to say, but great ones practice what to ask. So when you have a word track, when you have an outline, when you have things that actually work, you get information and help the customer become more educated and more comfortable as you go through the process. Now you're no longer worried about, well, what if they ask me this and I can't handle it, or I can't answer it. You're no longer worried about that. And then guess what? You can just flow. Think about it like this. How often have you ever been riding in the car and a song you haven't heard in years? Maybe you heard it back in high school. Maybe it was your jam in college. Maybe it's something you used to jam to back in the day, but it comes on. And without even thinking about it, you're singing the words and you're jamming to it. As a matter of fact, you're singing the words just as good as the artist that originally made it. But if you ever stop and really think about it, you know what it is that you're singing and speaking out? Scripted words that were written by somebody else. But yet you memorize that song, you memorize those words so well that you can be driving with one hand, eating a sandwich with the other one, and at the same time still able to speak those words out. Why? Because you memorized them, you internalized them, and when you projected them, you personalized them. So the one thing you must do at your store, if you haven't already, is you must identify the right word tracks. Every sales professional I work with, have trained, and I know that are making $70,000 or better, have word tracks that they memorize. Therefore, when one of the 4 common objections, because let's face it, there's only 4 objections that we run into: price, talk to spouse, trade, think about it. Really analyze that. And what else does a person ever tell us is their reasoning or for hesitating on making a buying decision? It's one of those 4. And so if we've been doing this every day and we know that it's only one of those 4, and we don't know what to say or we're not prepared to handle that, then shame on us. Really think about it. There's only 4. Talk to my spouse, the price is too high, I need to think about it, and I want to shop around. See, we overcomplicate it in this game by not really sitting down and analyzing what's going on. There's only really 4. Now, there's a lot of little objections, but they all fall up under one of these 4, which means that when you get it down how to respond to one of these, you're a lot more comfortable. When you're establishing rapport with your customer early on, you're not worried about when you get down there to those numbers and they hit you with one of those objections. What are you going to say? As a matter of fact, lack of preparation is what makes it become kind of a battle back and forth, where they give an objection and the sales consultant almost gets offended, and then they want to go back and forth. And man, you catch more bees with honey than you do with vinegar. You should write and never fight. It will never benefit you to banter someone or to try to make them or to convert them within the next 3, 4, 5 minutes. If they feel like they have to think about it, because that's what they've done, that's their internal buying system for the last few years, okay, you have to figure a way to respect that and find out exactly what it is that they want to think about. If they want to speak with somebody that they love, that they've consulted with for years, you're not going to change that if they love this person and trust them. But what you can do is find out what type of questions this person may ask. Hey, they know them better than anybody else. Tell me some things that you feel that they may want to know. And guess what you'll find out? The information that they're telling you, the questions, are typically something that they want to know. Or it could be something with the spouse, if they want to think about it, if they want to shop around, whatever it is. But you have to have the right word tracks, A, where you can respect it, and how you know how to get more information to find out what's really going on and make sure that's really the issue and not something that's lying under the surface, just like fear. A lot of times, it's just them being afraid, but they'll use one of these 4, and as an ignorant sales consultant, when I say ignorant, meaning lacking knowledge, there's a lot of them out there who don't know what to say. They make it confrontational. And even if the person buys, they nickel and dime it where the dealership ends up taking a loss. It may turn into a mini, when really there was a way for you to be able to respect that. There's a word track for you to be able to handle that and to help them feel more comfortable, help them feel more secure. I'll give you an example. When somebody says that they want to think about it, as opposed to salesmen say, well, what do you want to think about? You know what I'm saying? Don't you like everything? And this, that, and the others of me. You know what? Hey, look, I totally get it. As a matter of fact, a lot of intelligent people, they do this, they do and say the same exact thing. I mean, this is a unique decision that you have right now. And so the most important thing for you to do is to think about it. As a matter of fact, I commend you for being somebody that's intelligent, wanting to make sure you get the best bang for your buck. But typically when somebody tells me that they want to think about it, it boils down to one of three things. And help me figure out which one of these it is for you. I typically call it one of the three F's. Okay, so let's identify. Now, first off, I want to make sure that this is the right fit. Okay, this vehicle, I know you told me that you liked it earlier. Do you still feel like this is the right fit for you, that this vehicle is what works for you? Yes, okay. Now, as far as the features, the things that you pointed out that you really liked about the features, are these still the right features for you? Yes, okay. Well, does it boil down to the money? Is it the finances? Tell me exactly how you feel about that monthly budget or about that initial investment. Tell me how you feel about it, and let's see what we could do to help you feel better and make this work, more positively for you. So it boils down to one of the three F's. It's either not the right fit, not the right features, or it's the finances. Now you have to know that. You have to know that. But there's a way to be able to express that intelligently. And there are word tracks that you can use, that you can study, where when you do it, it flows. And you're not doing it in a condescending manner. You're doing it to truly find out what's going on. Let me answer a question real quick. Good evening, Brian. I've been in sales for 3 years at the same dealership. Should the majority of my business be repeat and referrals at this point? Every once in a while, I will get a repeat or referral customer, but not as much as it seems I should. What is your biggest tip keeping a steady stream of repeat and referral business? I want you to keep this in mind, Bradley. McDonald's and Coca-Cola. You all 100 or so of you on this webinar would agree with me that McDonald's and Coca-Cola are two of the most popular companies in the world. As a matter of fact, children 2 years old, if you just held up the golden arches and took the name McDonald's off, they would know exactly what that is. Man, people in China, Italy, Russia, it does not matter, it's familiar with the golden arches. Then ask yourself this: why is it that McDonald's is on your radio, your TV, and your social media every hour on the hour, 365 days a year? Now, they're already one of the most popular companies in the world. Children 2 years old know who they are, but yet they're in front of you every single day, every hour of every day, 365 days a year. Is because they realize that with so much going on and so much information in front of our faces, that today's general public has a little bit of ADD. Now, back in the 80s, the average attention span was 20 minutes. Right now, studies show it is 8 seconds. And so you have to constantly be in front of people to make sure that they remember. And so on your Facebook page, which you should have, not your main personal page, but if you go within Facebook, go to the home screen, look on the bottom left corner, you'll see where it says create a page. From that is where you should create your dealer page. It should be your dealership name hyphen your name. It'll ask you, do you want to establish a business? Now, once you set that up, put in a short bio of yourself at your dealership. Hey, I'm energetic, love helping people, good credit, bad credit, no problem. Everybody is a customer when dealing with me. Whatever it is you want your bio to be, once you get done, it'll notify everybody in your network that you created this page. So now everyone that likes it, whenever you do a post, they'll get notified. Now here's the kicker. In the beginning, the average person throws up a post, maybe 2 posts, they don't get anything from it, and then they say it doesn't work. But you from now on will remember the McDonald's method. One of the biggest and the most popular companies in the world. How can we ever be so cocky and so arrogant to believe that we don't need to use the McDonald's method in our approach to making sure we stay in front of people? On your page, every week, you should have between 5 to 10 posts. And within those posts, a few of those should be 1 to 2 minute, very short videos, doing a walk around on a nice pre-owned vehicle you just got in, doing a walk around on one of your new vehicles. Pick different makes and models. It doesn't have to be the super duper thorough detailed out, because remember, people's attention span, you just want to be able to pique their interest. You want to be able to make sure people know that whenever they have an interest, whenever they have a question in vehicles, that you are the go-to person. How do they know that? By consistency. It's just like the fact that you're here now. The reason why you're here now is not because you saw me one time. It's due to consistency. And you've listened to the information and you said, like all people say, most people say when they listen, they say, Brian, I can tell you're real. I've taken your stuff, I applied it, and it actually worked. I've learned more from you in a 6-minute video than from my managers after working there for months. But it's consistency. It's always making sure that I'm in front of people sharing credible, good, usable information. And once people say, you know what, I can tell it's genuine, it makes sense, it works, now they're willing to spend time with me like you good folks are here tonight. And so it's the same thing with you. When people see that you consistently, because everybody's waiting for the bottom to fall out and for you to stop posting. And you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind. And that is a true motto. That is not just cliche. And so you should be making sure, A, you got pictures of every single person that you help buy. You should get in a picture with them in front of their vehicle and take a picture of them in front of their vehicle. And you post both on your Facebook page and you tag that person. And you put a comment, you put in the description, congratulations to Bob and Mary. It was an awesome time and my pleasure to be able to help you all. Tag them in it, share it. Because guess what? What do you think they're going to do? They're going to like it. It's going to go to their networks. And then as the comments start, make sure that you are interacting with anyone that says congratulations or said that they liked the vehicle. Hey, if you like the same exact experience that your friend got, let me know. My number is boom. We have awesome pre-owned and new vehicles available. It is all about networking. You have to be willing to get in the trenches and interact with these people. If we're on our phones every day anyway, we might as well leverage them and use them to help us help other people. And so there should be 5 to 10 posts on your page every week. And I would say at least half of those should be videos of you sitting in your cubicle or sitting in your office, doing a quick mini walk around on a vehicle, explaining some of the cool things about your service department. Is it an extra step? Yes, but I call it short-term pain for long-term gain, because guess what? As you continue to put the stuff out there, it stays out there. And so the more information you have out there, I equate it to being like a hunter that's trying to find food for the winter. If they spend their entire time chasing one deer, they may starve. But if they set a lot of traps all around the woods, now they have a probability of being able to trap even more game for the winter. Why? Because they've got more traps set as opposed to chasing that one. And so you got to learn to leverage that. It's the same thing with Instagram. Instagram allows you to post 1-minute videos. Why not do a 1-minute walk around to say, hey, we got this nice 2017 Chevy Cruze in. Awesome for somebody who's just getting out of college or that's looking for something that's good on gas and something a little bit less expensive. Call me, text me. I'm here at the dealership. My name is Brian Maxwell. I am here 6 days a week, 8 hours a day. Come check me out while it's still available. You know what I'm saying? Quick 1-minute video and put it up. It's totally free. Same thing with LinkedIn, with YouTube. Why not create your YouTube channel? Now, I will tell you, people go out and they try this. And they don't realize that somebody like myself has spent tens of thousands of dollars, learning or paying people to do certain things. And then once you get a system down, now you know how to repeat it and know how to use it. So it's really all about having a system, and creating one can be extremely time consuming at times and could, cost you some money. So if you have the opportunity to get access to how to set up your Facebook, how to use YouTube, how to go and use your Instagram and stuff, you should definitely take advantage of it if you have the opportunity. And so, Bradley, it really is going to require you every day, just making sure that you take out 5 to 10 minutes. And guess what? We can do it from our phone and have it posted up with the description, lickety split, just like that. And guess what? Woo, we did our social media for the day. Making sure that we take pictures of our customers and with our customers in front of their vehicles, tagging them, post it up. And you have to do this. And when you do it consistently, watch what will happen. The messages will begin to pick up, okay? The phone calls will pick up. And if you really, really, really are serious, there is a way that you could take $20 or $30, invest it on Facebook and Facebook ads, and guess what? You can set it so targeted where you only want to deal with men and women within a certain zip code who have an interest in your specific brand. And guess what? Any post that you make or any video you show will only show in front of those people. You talk about laser targeted, but again, there is a way to create that header. There's a way to make sure that your body text has this keyword density. There's a way to make sure that you set it up the right way so that $20, $30, you can quantify that to generate a few thousand for yourself. And it is possible. People are doing it every day. You just have to learn the right way to do it. Okay. And so, yes, if you've been doing this for 2, 3 years, yeah, you still may step up to some lot traffic, but you should begin to evolve yourself where lot traffic becomes icing on the cake. Also, how often have you followed up and stayed in touch with the people that you've helped buy over the last few years? When was the last time you sat down and did a handwritten letter and sent it out to someone? Because, you know, sending some generic typed up thing is cool, but imagine sending somebody a handwritten letter, what type of personal feel that is. Or remember to call them on the anniversary date of when they bought their vehicle, or making sure you had it in the notes that they had an anniversary coming up. This is what pros do. And that's why I say, you know, there's a difference. Amateurs, whether it be college, high school, they don't make any money. Professionals get paid. So I always tell people, if you want to get paid like an amateur, act like one. If you want to get paid like a professional, act like one. Okay. At the end of the day, we truly have the power of how it goes. So let's talk about something else. When somebody says they want to talk about, you know, talk it over with their spouse. Again, people begin to get confrontational when this is an excellent opportunity for you to get this person talking some more. You know, I want to speak it over my spouse. Look, I totally get it. You know, respecting a relationship is extremely important. And my hat is off to you for maintaining that level of respect and trust. And you know this person better than anybody else. So help me help you at least be prepared with what information they may want. What type of questions do you feel they're going to have for you? Guess what we just did? We respected their decision that they want to talk to the spouse. We complimented them, genuinely complimented them, commended them on maintaining that respect. And we asked them, hey, seeing as you know that person better than anybody else on the planet, what questions do you feel they're going to ask? That way I can help you be prepared. And so now guess what we got coming in? We have them sharing information with us about what they may ask. And in a lot of situations, the questions that they're asking us aren't questions that the spouse is going to have. It's concerns that they have. But they were using that as an out. And as soon as they do that and a salesperson becomes confrontational, boom, you just gave them reason to go. I want you to know it's absolutely okay. Because in the event that you really do have to speak to your spouse, the best thing I can do for you is educate you and arm you so that when you go home, you can explain it in the most positive light, which will only increase the likelihood of them coming back to buy. See, too many times we let them walk out without preparing them. Another great question that I ask them is, hey, listen, seeing as you really seem like that you liked it based on what you told me, what are you going to do if they say no? Now, you may say, Brian, why would I say that? Because many times a person has never thought about that. They go home, they're excited, and the spouse may say, nope, we're not doing that. Oh, deflated. But when you mentally prepare them, hey, what are you going to do if they say no? You'll be amazed at how many people say, well, you know, seeing as I'm the one paying for it, even if they say no, they'll be okay with me getting it. All you wanted them to do was not only say out loud to you, but also to say out loud to themselves. Hey, listen, if I'm the one paying for it, they'll still be okay. They won't mind. You know what I'm saying? They may have their opinion, but since I'm paying for it, you know, the buck stops here or whatever. Or they may say, well, if they say no, I guess that's it. Well, listen, what do you feel are some reasons that they may say no? Let's see what I can do to help. So as you can see, it really doesn't matter which way it goes. It's still all about getting information, learning more about what's going on. And the more they can tell us about, you know, what do they feel may cause them to say no. If they may be able to share something with you, you may be able to give a response and they say, you know what, that makes sense. Let me call them. We just don't know. But the worst thing we could do is just give up or get confrontational. Remember, good salespeople practice what to say while great ones practice what to ask. And then you got, you know, you got the price one, you got shop around. I mean, like I said, there's only 4. And there are awesome word tracks. One of the things that I make available to the people that I train at the dealerships and, you know, also available to, you know, different corporate people in the automotive business that reach out, that want help, are those specific word tracks that really helps them realize what to say. As a matter of fact, let me see, I got some right here. Let me pull one up for you and let you look it over and check it out. So as you can see right here, you know, when you're handling how to think about it, You know what I mean? You have to have these word tracks and these responses where, guess what? You're prepared, as opposed to thinking that you sound scripted. It's not that you sound scripted. You sound scripted only because you haven't memorized it and you don't know them. But there's no reason to sound scripted. Once you memorize them and you personalize them, when you project them out, you'll have them personalized. Okay? Let me see another one that we're talking about. The spouse. Let me show that one to you. So as you can see, I mean, I literally have more than 21 ways for you to handle if somebody says, I want to talk to my spouse. You know, like we go with the first one. Based on what you know about them. You know what I'm saying? What is their timeline? This is just finding out more information. Based on what you know, what type of time frame are we looking at? What type of timeline do they have? You know, and then even when they talk about it, share with them a little bit about the process that they feel that their spouse is going to go through when making that decision. I mean, there's just layers on layers, and they're what's called layered questions. They're questions that help you gain and gather information from the person that you're speaking with. When at the end of the day, the name of the game is all about getting information. See, too many times the salesperson just does all of the talking. And that's not good. The more information we get them to share with us, the more comfortable they feel about us. It's like when initially sitting down with somebody. The silliest thing I see is a person sits down and immediately starts typing the information in the CRM. So you have a guest sitting on the other side of the table looking at the back of a computer screen. They have no idea what you're doing. And guess what they say? Is this person doing a credit app? So little do we know, we think we're doing a good thing and we're putting it in so nobody else can work with them. But if they're sitting there with you, nobody else can work with them anyway. Or we're putting it in the system so that later on, if there's a deal, it can be printed out. Well, if you just sit down, there's no deal yet. You don't even know why they're there. So guess what the most important thing? Imagine what somebody will feel when you bring them inside, you offer some coffee or water, you say, hey, listen, do you mind if I take some notes? Because I just want to make sure that I get everything that you share with me accurate, because it's extremely important to me. Imagine what type of tone you're setting right there before you write anything. You get their permission because you want to make sure it's accurate and it's important to you. Imagine what that does. Imagine how that separates you from everyone else. And as you go through your word tracks and you're asking questions, as a matter of fact, let me see here. I actually have something that I'm gonna pull up here on the screen as far as when you're going through and you're asking them questions. You know, a lot of the things, everybody takes those guest information sheets and they just have a time with them. That's all they're doing, is just asking them questions relevant to that vehicle. That's it. When you have to realize this, that piece of plastic or metal, that's an inanimate object. It does nothing without human interaction. It has no credit, it doesn't drive, it doesn't have any money whatsoever. It's the humans that make the decision to interact with that piece of plastic or metal. So when we sit down with somebody, if we can get this individual or these individuals to open up to us about the people, places, and things that they love the most on this planet, when we get to talking about that piece of plastic or metal, it's nothing. It's like somebody expressing that they're married. If we fail to ask them how long they've been married, what's their spouse's name? If they tell us they have children, we don't ask boys or girls. How old are they? What's their names? If you believe that's too personal, you're in the wrong business, because this is the second largest purchase next to buying a home. And if you believe somebody making a $20, $30, $40, $50, $60, $70,000 buying decision doesn't appreciate the fact that you want to know about them so you could do everything you can to help them, you're sadly mistaken, because they do. It's just that they don't expect you to, because not very many people give a damn enough to do so. Most salespeople are so inwardly focused that all that they care about is how much money they're going to make on this person. But I've stressed this before, and please remember this. The key to being able to really capitalize in this game, in this business, and in life is to remember this one thing. And it reverts back to the law of reciprocity, which is, how can we ever expect people to invest in us when we're unwilling to invest in ourselves? How can we expect a stranger to want to invest in us when we don't even invest time and resources into ourselves? And so us failing to invest time and resources into ourselves impact our skills and our ability to be able to create enough value where others want to invest in us. Do you think these dealerships will want to spend the money that they spend with me to have me in their stores week after week after week, month after month after month, if there was no value? But guess what? The way that I was able to build value was years ago when I was working on those showroom floors, just like you, I made the decision to invest the time and the money into my skills. And therefore, it allowed me to sell my way out of the dealership. And was it tight? Yes. Did I have money at the time that I decided to invest? No. But I knew that if I didn't have the money and the resources at that time to invest, as time went on, I really wouldn't have it to invest later. Because you know what they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. So it's like when I expect somebody, they believe they're going to go to YouTube University, and somehow that's going to take them to that next level. Man, that information is cool. But in a lot of courses and programs, I'll give you an example, like in the ones that I offer to my people. Yeah, the YouTube stuff is cool, but the information, the word tracks, the videos, the Facebook trainings, the one-on-one sessions, the things that are involved in that are far more in-depth than anything you'd ever see on YouTube. So if you feel like you're gaining something from YouTube, imagine what would happen if you joined the team like many other people from all around the country and different parts of the world that are in automotive sales that have gotten started. They made the decision, they took the plunge, and they've been able to springboard their sales and their results to a much higher level than what it was before. Again, it goes back to short-term pain for long-term gain. So here goes some of the discovery questions that I was talking about. You know, when we sit down with somebody, hold on, let me go to it. Let me go to them. These are all within the sales training manual. This is also something that I give to those who are who work with me as far as have decided to invest in themselves and are doing what they need to do. They also have the entire sales training manual to be able to reference back to, not just the word track, we have the actual manual. So let's go here to the example discovery question. So imagine, hey, listen, do you mind if I take some notes? What else? Now, the reason why we asking that question, hey, do you mind if I take some notes? I want to make sure I get everything you share with me as accurate as possible. It's extremely important. Now, imagine what that does. A, we're letting them know exactly what we're doing. We're being transparent. Because how many times do you start sitting there writing and they're looking across the table trying to read what you're writing upside down? And if you leave it up to a customer to decide if what you're doing is to help them or hurt them, 9 times out of 10, they're going to believe you're trying to hurt them if you don't let it be known. Plus, it is absolutely rude to just start writing while somebody's talking without asking. Remember, little things mean a lot. In order to get what others don't have, you have to be willing to do what others aren't willing to do. And so from that, we use what's called layered questions. So listen, are you looking for something that's new or pre-owned? Pre-owned. All right, so are you going to be using it for business or personal use? Now pay attention to these questions. Are you looking for something for business or personal use? Let's just say they say personal use. They say, okay, so awesome. So it's going to be your daily driver? Yeah, okay, to and from your place of business? Absolutely. All right, so what type of work do you do? Oh, it's for business. Really? What type of work do you do? So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which direction that they go with it. Using layered questions will allow you to be able to steer the conversation in whatever direction that you like it to go. Okay? So making sure as you go through, continue to look at the questions. Just like the same thing with color. Huge mistake I see people make is they ask, hey, well, what color are you looking for? And mistake, because now you've just given them a reason to leave. Let's say if they say green and green's not available, you're just giving them an out. What if they say red? How many shades of red are there? How many shades of blue? So when you ask, are you looking for a light, medium, or dark color? Now what you've done, you just expanded the options. Because how many dark colors are there? You got black, dark brown, dark blue. How many light colors? You got white, you got yellow, you got cream. And guess what you've done? You've kept them off of one specific color. That way you can kind of help reduce or eliminate that being a potential objection to why they want to leave at the end. Okay? And as you go through these questions, again, they're layered questions, but it's just one of the many tools and one of the many things that you need to have in your arsenal that will prepare you to be able to qualify. Because listen to this, the 2 most important steps of the entire sales process is the greet and the qualifying. Okay, my grandson just got dropped off. I warned everybody earlier when I was getting started that he was coming, and he is in the house. Grayson is in the house now. As a matter of fact, let me see him. I'm gonna bring him on over here, and I'm gonna keep going. But the 2 most important steps, as far as in the entire sales process, it's my grandson. The 2 most, and he's a future superstar. Please believe, sales professional. The 2 most important steps in the process are the greeting and the qualifying. Because if you don't greet a person the right way, you're never gonna get them inside or get them to sit down and share information with you. And if they don't share information, How you ever going to select a vehicle? And if you're unable to select a vehicle, you're never going to be able to present it. No presentation, no demonstration drive, no deal. And so people tend to spend the least amount of time on these two steps when they are two of the most important. Two of the most important. But again, you have to know what to say. Even something as simple as a greeting should be word tracked out. You should have an idea of what questions you should ask. And I know those information sheets have some uncomfortable questions on it. Who's the lien holder and all this crazy stuff. Very little personal at all, which is exactly why it is so beneficial to everyone who I work with personally to have access to these questions and to these word tracks, because now, guess what? They don't just help them for one day or 1 week or 1 month. They can help them for the rest of their lives. And if you're somebody that has a spouse or have children, guess what? These type of word tracks and these type of sales tips and these type of methods is bigger than just selling a vehicle. If you have a spouse that's trying to get a new position, they can learn how to sell themselves into a new position. It's just so many different ways that these things help you out, but you have to know the right things to say while you're going through it. Okay, hold on, let me get him up real quick. Oh, great, I'll get you, give it your number. But at the end of the day, you just want to make sure that you've identified not just what to say, but how you say it when you're interacting with people. So I want to answer some more questions here. Hey, thank you, happy Father's Day. Appreciate that, Isaac. Thank you very much. It is awesome. Today is Father's Day, and but at the same time, again, this is what it boils down to. The reason why I'm able to enjoy the things I'm able to enjoy, and I go through some of the same ups and downs as everybody else, but the reason why I'm able to enjoy life on another level than most people is because, again, while the average person wants to be sitting up on a Sunday, kicking back, relaxing, saying, man, this, that, and the other, and I can start on Monday, I want to take advantage and get the momentum as I go into my week, okay? And that's really what it's all about. That's really what it's all about. And, you know, and it's all up to you. And I'm not going to hold you too much longer because I know it is getting late. I'm going to be brief. One thing I will say is this, just based on what it is that you have, that you've heard and that you've seen. If you've been to my website, if you've been to any of the conferences that I've spoken at, then you know that typically any of the programs, the sales training videos, which is the actual videos and the audio programs that take you through the road to the sale, not just the steps, but the psychology behind it, because people buy 90% based off emotion, back it up with 10% logic. The word tracks, there's over 40 word tracks to handle the spouse, to think about it, the shop around, and the price objections, an actual sales training manual that you can reference to, share with your team members and use, that you can even help your spouse or your children increase their ability to be able to interact and build value in the sales, to be able to sell their way into a better job, or to help more customers be willing to buy a vehicle. Also, the 10-part video series on how to set up and boost your Facebook page's profile to drive and generate more leads, how to leverage YouTube, okay? There's even 100 success tips. It's all in a 10-part video series that you get. And also, you and I have a one-on-one telephone call where we go back and forth with me helping you improve and perfect your pitch and perform better at your dealership. So right now, if you'd like to, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working with the first 30 people that go through and register. And I typically sell it for $997. But right now, 90% off, you can go download it for $97. So as you can see, it's not even about the money. But at the end of the day, having some skin in the game will help you respect it and actually go through it. And I highly encourage you, for a fraction of what people spend at a conference of mine, to pay $1,000 to get access to the word tracks, to the sales training manual, to be able to get all of the videos and all of the audio. People are spending $1,000 and you see it available on my website for $1,000. You have access to it for $97 for the next 24 hours, okay? I see we got a couple people that are already going over. If I'm with the first 30 people, I'll be working with personally. So the first 30 people will have access to be able to interact with me as far as going through role playing, working on your strategies, helping you build your skills. Thank you to all those who are going over and downloading. The first 30 people that go over there, we got 25 spaces left. The first 30 people, I'll be working with you personally for a fraction of it. If somebody told you that for less than $100, you can get what you need to be able to make $100,000. Would you take advantage of it? Would you take advantage of it? I always call it like the Microsoft effect. Imagine somebody back in the day telling someone that if they'd invested $100 with Bill Gates, that today they'd be one of the richest people in the country. Well, guess what happens? I'm not saying that this is on the level of Microsoft, but what I am saying is the techniques, the methods, and the tools within it are truly helping people out there make $70, $80, $90, $100,000 a year, but not just 1 year, for the rest of your life. So one small investment today can help make a big impact in your life from here on out. And I appreciate it. I see we got more people that are going. As you can see, the spaces are running out fast. People are hungry for this stuff. They're hungry for it. And the question is, how hungry are you? Right now, you have access and availability. And the fact that you are here with me tonight lets me know that you know the information that I share is true, is accurate, and is right. Now is just the time for you to take advantage of it. Go online, download your programs, and you can start listening to them, using them immediately. Take them right back into your store tomorrow and start applying them. Start using them. Start working with them. And for my people on YouTube that are watching live, the link will be in the description. YouTube, for the next 24 hours, will have access to it. But as you can see, the spots are going fast. I'm already halfway out. I only have room for 30 people, and I'm going to work with them personally. So right now, for a tenth of what people spend in actual training seminars, $1,000 to be able to download this program, you get it for $97 tonight. And once you download it, what'll happen, you'll get an email from me tomorrow setting up the time for you and I to be able to go through your strategy, where we'll talk about your process. You'll be able to look at the information, and we'll help put together a system for you that you can use at your dealership. Like I said before, if somebody told you that for less than $100, you can have information that can help you make $100,000 a year, not just 1 year, but for the rest of your life, would you use it? Would you use it? And if the answer is yes, then you have access to it tonight. So right now, before all of the spaces are going, obviously, offer's going to end here. As far as me, I'm going to be off here shutting down well before 26 minutes. As soon as the last spot is taken up, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to start getting my people to get the messages out and start putting together these strategy calls and putting it together. But for less than $100, that's literally less than $3 a day. For 1 month, spending a little bit less than $3 a day for 1 month will give you information that not only will you benefit your team members, your family members, any friends that you love and care about. Every family that's ever changed their lives and their trajectory on their successes all had that one person who made a key decision that changed the whole family lineage forever. Lord knows that I'm not one in my family, but it all came from a decision. And trust me, I get it. And I know it's a decision. You say, oh my goodness, should I do it? Should I do it? But how can you not do it? For a fraction, you get access to information that will transform your life, and you and I will work together to help you achieve it. And so by all means, jump on over, take advantage. I appreciate those of you that are. Right now, I'm down to less than 10 spots available, less than 10 people. Once we get to 30, then I know I hit my target. My goal every single week is to help at least 30 people achieve their goal and help their family change their lives. At least. That's my goal. And so this week, I'm going for the 30. Let's see how long it's going to take for us to get there. And if you're still on here and you haven't clicked the link, don't let all those spots be taken up when one of them should be yours. Oh, and the kicker is this. I also do give a 90-day money-back guarantee. If after 90 days, when you work with myself and you go through the information, if you feel like it doesn't help you, by all means, you'll get your money back. It's here in recording, and it's on the site too. So tell me, there is nothing to risk. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. So help me help you. Click the link, go on over, take advantage of it for a fraction. You get access to a lot of the information that we was just touching on tonight. You get to jump deep off the cliff, high off the cliff, and go deep within it. And I'll be able to help you strategize and put that together and how you can start impacting it at your store immediately. Okay, so right now I got 5 slots available. Make sure that you click the link in the that's on the screen right there. Go on over, get everything filled out. It'll redirect you immediately to your download page, and you can download it. Make sure that you have a PDF file opener on your phone, I mean, a zip file opener, because it's so much information. It's hours and hours and hours of video and audio. They've been compressed into a zip file. So you want to make sure that you have a zip file opener that's totally free. And I highly recommend downloading onto a laptop, because there's so many files that if you load them onto your phone, I don't want it to, you can go on a phone. A lot of people do, but I'm not sure how much memory space people have on their phone. So if you can do it on your phone, by all means, go ahead and do it if you like to do it on your laptop. But if you're not accessing this right now on your laptop, it may be hard, because the offer is going to end here extremely soon. So make sure you get on over, check it out. We got 3 spaces left, just 3. You can learn how to handle objections. You can learn how to start advertising yourself, driving leads to yourself at your dealership. You can learn how from the moment you lock eyes with a guest till it's time to leave, that you can help people have some of the most positive experiences they've ever had in a dealership. Because guess what? It's not a one-night stand. It's a long-term relationship. The same thing with you and I. My success grows and builds by the quality of the people that work in these dealerships. And guess what? If they weren't being successful, if they weren't making money, and if they weren't growing, these folks wouldn't continue to want to invest in me. And the same information that these dealerships invest tens of thousands of dollars in for me to bring in, people at events spend $1,000 to buy, you have access to for 1/10 of the cost. So you get a $997 program with tons of bonuses loaded in it, with over 10 hours of actual audio, videos, sales training manuals, word tracks, one-on-one call with myself. You and I working together. Tell me, what else are you looking for to be able to help you transition and build your business at your dealership? And it looks like I'm down to 1. Didn't know it was going to go this fast. I thought maybe 30 minutes it might take, but it looks like we're down to 1. So make sure that you're not that one that miss out. And let me explain something to you. If you are considering it, the fact that you are in a position to consider investing in yourself says a lot about you. There's a lot of people that wish that they were in your spot. The best thing you can do is take advantage of it and help me help you. I can't hurt you. I can only help you. Click the link, go on over, get started, download it. I'll shoot you the message tomorrow. We'll schedule a time for you and I to get together to do your strategy session, and we're going to help take you to the next level at your dealership. We got 1 space left. Let's see what it's going to take for us to hit that 30 mark this week. And I see we got quite a lot of people still in the room, a little bit over 80 people. So by all means, who's going to be the one to get that 1 spot? We've already got 29 slots filled. I knew it was going to go. I didn't know it was going to go that fast. We got 29 slots filled. Go ahead, make your investment in yourself. That's who you're investing in. And if you fail to believe that you are worth that type of investment, how can you ever expect any company or any person to want to invest thousands in you, either in commissions or in a big salary? How can you ever expect that if you don't even feel like your life or your family's life is worth $100? And I know you do. I know you do. But is it worth it to you if for 1 month, you may have to take your lunch, if for the next of your life, and for the next few years of your life, for the rest of your life, you have the option to go out to eat wherever you want? That's what I always boil it down to. And you know what? Bam, we got them now. One thing I am going to say, as far as the products, they're still available for download. And anybody that's still on here now, because I see I'm only going to make room for 10 more. 10, that's it. 10. So click the link in the description. And if you are after that cutoff period of that 10, you will receive an email just saying, hey, unfortunately, we wish we had more space. And the next time I do open it up for the one-on-ones, we'll work together. But if you make the investment tonight, and let's just say, you missed the 40 spot, just do it and I'll shoot you a message and we'll go ahead and work it in and work it the best we can. Because like I said, again, had no idea that everything was going to go. The slots was going to fill up that fast. So click the link, go on over, instantly download it. Make sure you one of the next 10, okay? Because, I got a lot going on this weekend. Doing 40 different strategy sessions, that's going to really take some time, which is why I set it at 30. But seeing as you still on here tonight, obviously tells me that you're eager to learn and you really want to grow and you want to get better. And I owe it to you to help you. Since you took time out of your life to spend time with me, I want to do everything I can to give it back. So make sure you click the link, go on over, get started. Let's put it together. You know, you hear Grayson over there. My grandson just said, man, you better go ahead and jump on top of that. So other than that, hopefully you picked up some from tonight. But I'll be getting back at you soon. I'll be doing these live, going live a lot more often. I'm Brian Maxwell. I appreciated you being here. I enjoyed myself, and I look forward to seeing you at the dealership. Over and out, y'all. Thank you. Tell them, Gray.